Hello, Wilson. Hello, Fantastica. Hello, hello, hello. Don't sound too chipper. It's just like, I don't know. I'm doing fine IRL. I just think trying to like think critically at all when it comes to like HSR shit, it's just so brain dead, the reception. Like, I make a video talking about like the HP inflation and shit. I go through almost every argument. People start making nitpicky arguments. So I make a video addressing those arguments and why they're incorrect. And then people continue to use the same argument and ignore what I said in the video. So I kind of just wanted to stream, get my thoughts off of it. I feel like no matter what I say, people are just going to be brain dead biased. Don't think at all, yeah. That's what those videos were about, yeah. Because we've had a fraction of the HP inflation compared to version 2 percentage wise, and we've gotten 3 free 5 stars, and people are trying to tell me that Amphorius has been worse and more predatory than Penacony. It's like, what? I avoid arguing with the HSR community. It's not even like just I don't know, man. It's just like the thing that annoys me so much about it, right? It wouldn't annoy me if like people were literally like this dumb everywhere, but I swear to God, it's only HSR. It is only HSR where I see people see 33% HP inflation and say that like this is legit ruining the game for them when Genshin, ZZZ, and Wuwa have more HP inflation than this, and people don't complain anywhere near as much. I truly think the zero cycle brain rot has just become like a real thing. It's not even a joke anymore. The zero cycle brain rot is completely real. I'm good, Max. People have active agendas against HSR. Yeah, but it's like, how can you be this dumb though? Like, it's like, oh, you can't use percentage increases. You need to use specific HP increases. And if they ever go beyond the specific HP increases, then that means HP inflation is like, oh my god, so bad. It's like, what? Like, you guys don't understand. I've literally never heard this argument in my life. I've never heard it in my life for any other game, for like anything else. I have never heard someone come up with that cope of an argument to make something look worse than what it is. It's like, are we dead ass? Like, oh my god. CZC's going crazier with HP inflation. No, I know that. Like, that's my entire point. It's like Genshin has worse HP inflation. ZZZ has worse HP inflation. Wuwa, as of recent, oh my god, they've had the worst HP inflation out of like the main four. But the complaints and the most videos I still see on of people complaining about HP inflation in Amphorius is HSR, right? Like, I'm seeing people make hit piece after hit piece on HSR and its HP inflation. And it's like, sure, you can say it's like bad, but to pretend that it's not way better than what we had in version 2 is just cope, right? It's insanely cope. Yeah. If HP inflation was as bad as people say it is, my Glea wouldn't be consistently 2 to 3 cycling every patch with the exact same team. Yeah, that's the same point I made. It's like the 33% HP inflation, right? That could make someone take an extra cycle or two. However, literally the second that you like maybe get Eggy's E1, you get Robin E1, you get Sunday E1, like you put one limited into the team and you instantly can make up, if not surpass, the difference HP inflation made, right? But for V2 teams, right, when Acheron released, to have the same performance that she did at E0, like 5, 6 patches later, you need to get E2 Acheron plus Jiaoqiu plus Jiaoqiu with Eidolons, right? Like, it's a world's difference. It's entirely different. Now, once again, this could all go to shit. In like the next patch or two, if they wanted to and they just suddenly added like double HP inflation, then this argument like wouldn't work as well, right? But this is just the point I'm trying to make, is that currently, last 6 patches versus the first 6 patches of V2, Amphorius is just leagues better, man. It's leagues better. Unless you legit didn't pull for the entirety of Amphorius. Even then, you could probably still clear. Like, if you use Archer and you use like an old Acheron with Jiaoqiu, that probably still clears all current endgame content, even if you refuse to pull every single Amphorius character. But it's like, I don't know, man. Yeah, because here's the funniest part, right? This entire thing started because I originally wanted to make a video shitting on the HP inflation, right? Like this is the funniest part. It's not like I went out to try and like gather evidence of like like to defend Hoyo and their HP inflation. The original plan was to shit on HSR and its HP inflation. And when I went to look, I was like, wait, this shit is really good, right? Like it's much better compared to what it used to be. So I ended up changing the topic of the video. Controversial opinion, but I think it's fine for people who don't pull at all to struggle with endgame. I don't disagree. I don't. Like, I okay. I know this is like a top 0.1% case scenario, right? I'll fully admit it. But this is to like kind of give an example of what you can do if you aren't completely brain dead and like just not playing the game, right? Someone managed to get a true zero cycle in endgame with Firefly, optimally invested E2 with like Tribby and shit. And they as well used Archer because obviously Archer was given for free, so they were able to take advantage of that. So a true zero cycle on both sides, and he's a free to play with over 60,000 Jades saved. Let that sink in. A free to play player using a version 2 DPS and the free Archer, true zero cycle with 60k Jades on the side. Like, you're telling me someone can't just pull any version 3 characters and instantly clear or just go a little bit into vertical investment? Like, there's no way I'm believing that. People think free to play means I'm always poor and can never clear endgame. Yeah, and it's like, once again, that's a true zero cycle, right? Like, you can make the argument, oh, I'm not that sweaty. Oh, it's like high cost or whatever. But that is a true zero cycle. You don't need to get a true zero cycle. You got an entire 10 cycles to breeze through it, right? And if you zero cycle with one new team, right? Like, let's say you're running Phanon plus Lycone with Seri. That will be able to zero cycle most of the current and older MOC content, probably a little bit into the future as well, right? So you have Phanon plus Zeri being able to zero cycle, and then you got an entire 10 cycles for your second team. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. We can't be serious. In my opinion, a bigger issue that HSR has, which I'm probably going to make a video on as well, that isn't the current HP inflation, is just how much fucking damage these mobs are doing, right? Like, it helps a lot that they allowed Dan Heng to be free. However, I'm going to be honest, older sustains feels so much worse against the newer mobs. But that's really like the only, you know, like hard thing that I really dislike that they've been doing lately. You'd be surprised how casual the player base is. No, I know how casual the player base is because I used to be just like them and I used to think just like them, right? However, it's to the like you need to keep in mind back when I was this casual. I didn't even follow leaks. It was my first few months playing the game. I didn't watch content creators. I could still clear, bro. I watched one guide on how to build my characters and I instantly cleared. Not even high cost. I was using Blade back then. Many of you don't know this. This was before I started making videos. I had a different account with Blade and Dill. And that shit was clearing for a good while when I had zero clue what I was doing. Aventurine shield feels like butter? Yeah. Oh yeah, I have to say, Fei Xiao is an incredible like Fei Xiao and Acheron are like the investments of version 2. Like even with the HP inflation and shit, both of them are competitive with the V3 DPSs in clearing endgame content on like the leaderboards. Which means like even casual Fei Xiaos should still be able to clear within 5 cycles and Acheron with Cypher should be able to do the same. Oh yeah, Fei Xiao has some of like the best min max optimization in this game. Fei Xiao, like vertical investment players, Fei Xiao got massively buffed with E2 Danny too. Like Fei Xiao got massively buffed. Not gonna lie, because her best in slot support is Robin, and now because of like E2 Danny, like double follow ups, but also the follow ups from the summon do nearly as much damage as Fei Xiao herself. So it's kind of like a duo DPS of E2 Dan Heng and Fei Xiao, right? And if I saw a video by the way, it was E0 S1 Fei Xiao, I think E0 or E1 Robin with E0 S1 Sunday and E2 Dan Heng and hyper carry Fei Xiao was hitting for 1 million on an ultimate. That's not even E2 Fei. That's E0. Like, Dan Heng is a massive buff for her if you go like into his vertical investment. Although if you don't go into E2, I do believe Avin is still better because he just like spams follow-ups, of course. But E2 Dawn is just like undisputably best in slot. Once again, it's not something you need, by the way. That E0 Fei Xiao, like that was a zero cycle. Once again, the zero cycle brain rot, I think it really has like gotten to people, including me. But like, I don't use zero cycles, and if a unit can't like zero cycle at low cost anymore, I'm like, oh, they can't clear endgame content, right? Or like they're bricked. Like it just doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm if I'm using DPS and Noxa, should I get his Lycone or E1 Don Hung? I have guarantee plus Lycone. E1 Danny, yeah. Yeah, E1 Danny. I was thinking about the res pen, and it's for sure a nice buff. But I would have preferred the Lycone because of the energy it gives you, which isn't really like calced in there. But then I remembered that E1 Dawn also gives a skill point, which is like another problem Anoxa kind of has in his teams. So yeah, for sure that. Also, I've seen a lot of videos. Danny massively helps Anoxa in Pure Fiction, which is really good because that's his weakest endgame mode, right? Like that is his weakest endgame mode. So it's pretty nice that Dawn does that for Pure Fiction. Nice nails. I managed to shave 3 cycles off my Archer clear with his Lycone. I'm so glad I got it. Yeah. 3 cycles is crazy though. But yeah, for sure. Like, I told people this, bro. I warned them. Don't fall for the bait that, certain CCs were trying to spread that his Lycone doesn't do anything. Don't fall for it. Because it for sure fucking does, man. It makes a very noticeable difference. Now, I will say, like, if I had to choose between, like, Lycone or E1, I'd probably choose his E1 at the end of the day. But the Lycone still for sure fucking helps. Now I need to break all this. Is this fork knife creative mode? Yeah. I would play in game, but then I can't read chat as much. Because, like, in this game, I actually need to focus. Mostly because I'm actually, like, half decent at it. Do I need a E1 Don Hung for Phenon? No, not really. If you don't have E2 Phenon, just forget every other vertical investment and wait for his rerun. I might need a remake a Phenon video because I feel like you kind of need to be in an alarm clock for some people, right? Because they'll instantly fall for FOMO like so quick and then forget like the actual priority. You could pull E1 Don Hung and E1 Saridra together and they wouldn't amount to the value of getting E2 Phenon. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, if Cyrene actually ends up being a Tribi upgrade for Phenon, who, by the way, is already, like, the best buffer for him in the game, then the gap Saridra makes is just gonna be even fucking lower than it already is. As, like, a second choice on that team. She's probably gonna have similar core flame gen to Saridra too. Because it's already leaked that she has a Memo Sprite that targets allies. And that gives Core Flame the Phenon. Why Herda? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I made my own community post on that. Like Robin, it made sense, right? Like there was a lot of dooming around Robin at the beginning because of her being targeted towards follow up. And so a lot of people didn't pull thinking she'd be like not that crazy. So like the reruns made sense when people found out her value. But her to dead ass just makes zero sense. Like it technically makes sense because of like rerunning alongside Anoxa, you know what I'm saying? But it like she just reran 3 patches ago, right? Like I'm pretty sure she's the first DPS character in the game to run or get 2 reruns within 3 patches of each other in a row. Like before, it was only Robin as a support. Now she's the second one as a DPS. E1 Saridra or E1 Dan Heng. Uh, they're actually close, but I'd say just get E1 Saridra. Mostly because of the extra core flame gen. For Phanon, yeah. I get E1 Sari. They're saving Cassie for a triple rerun banner? Yeah, probably. That is the most likely case scenario. It's gonna be a triple rerun with Cyrene, Cassie, and Hyacine. Or a triple run, sorry. I think they'll probably throw in My Day as a rerun, probably, if I had to guess. Like My Day will probably finally get his rerun in 3.7. Can Dan Heng generate stacks for Acheron? I don't think he applies a debuff, so probably not. That's probably still gonna be like a Hyacine thing. Well, I say Hyacine thing, but it's legit only with her Lycone. Only with Trend? Oh yeah, true. Leaks slowed down since Phanon? Leaks have slowed down since even before Phanon, to be honest. I believe the leakers already explained it, but like, apparently Hoyo started taking and like cracking down on leakers more seriously somewhere like right before Phanon or like on Phanon's patch. And that's why leaks have just been like a lot less, consistent and often as they used to be. Like you need to keep in mind, we used to get in like early M4s, we'd get early like V0 kit leaks, sometimes days if not weeks before V1. However, this isn't really the case anymore. As of recent, the last few patches, we've had to strictly wait until V1 every single time. So, I will say though, the one thing I like about HSR is that Hoyo is like much more decisive with what they want to make characters than compared to something like Lua. Like what a Wua character is supposed to do in so-called leaks changes like fucking 10 times. Like even if they're really close and like a few days away, like people still have no fucking clue. Meanwhile, we know Constance is now Fire Nihility, and we know about Yai Sakura, and we know about Hanabi, and like what the meta is going to be and shit. It's like damn, like we're far, far away. But it seems like Hoyo's for sure like more decisive when it comes to their character planning. They don't really change much. Doesn't Trend not work if Zhaoq's on the team? Yeah. Trend doesn't work if you use Zhaoq. I'm just assuming someone's using Cypher, but yeah. Don't you think the channel will be pretty dry in the next few months? As the 3.7, 3.8 patches will only have one character? No, it's the complete opposite. It is the complete opposite. I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing, right? One, I can farm anything as much as I want to if I feel like it. Like, I used to be making like 3 videos daily for basically half a year straight because I simply felt like it. I could talk about anything, right? However, the other thing is Cyrene and Constance are very special cases because Constance is kind of a look into what she'll support probably going into version 4, and people are very interested in like Elation, its gimmicks and what it's going to do, you know, the new super break meta that's upcoming. And then Cyrene is an entire other like fucking can of worms where now that she's been confirmed as a generalist, it's going to be like a super hot beta of people debating how good value she is and how much of a difference she is for certain teams. So Cyrene and Constance, despite it only being one character per patch, they give me like way more interesting topics to talk about than most other characters. So it kind of evens out. Like you guys were probably able to tell, but when it came to Don Hung and the Evernight beta, I didn't really farm it all that much. Like I did give my opinion, like especially on Don Hung, but I didn't make anywhere near as many videos on Don Hung Evernight as I did in previous betas. So it'll probably be the opposite for Cyrene and Constance. I'm gonna be farming the shit out of that. The problem is, Wilson, we've never had a path of characters that is tied to a specific damage type. Like, I keep seeing people say this. Isn't Elation supposed to be this whenever I bring up Break? But it's like, there's also Remembrance, yet Remembrance has an attack scaler. It has 2 HP scalers. It's probably going to have whatever the fuck Cyrene is, right? So Elation is probably going to be the same thing. If I had to give a guess, Hanabi, which is Fire Elation from leaks, will be break related, but Yai Sakura, who is on the Annie, won't be break related. That's just my guess on the entire thing. I think Yai Sakura is going to take a Cassie like route where she wants a full mono elation team and like that really helps her out. Obviously can still work with other options, otherwise she'd be bricked. But yeah. But I do think Hanabi will be break related. You also need to like here's the other thing is like break what's it called? Like she's leaked fire and Constance is fire. Like is that really a coincidence, right? Like they're both fire. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. How does that clash with additional damage? Well, you said Elation is going to be all about additional damage and not break. But I feel like Hanabi specifically will have like some attachment to break, is what I'm saying. You could be right, but I don't think they'd really lock it to one specific thing. I don't know. It's kind of like the same way where memo sprites can work very differently depending on the character. I think is the best way I can explain it. Like everybody technically has this gimmick in Remembrance, but they all use it in a different way, if that makes sense. I don't know if they'll make like every single Elation character purely additional damage. That would be cool though, if like every single one was additional damage and you could just do it through different ways. I'm still so lost when it comes to Elation though. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so fucking lost, man. Usually I can use like, future Maru. I can just predict shit from past experiences. But when it comes to something completely original, I'm lost, man. I'm really lost. The double fire could be a coincidence. The problem is, I would maybe rub it off as a coincidence if it weren't for one, Firefly being buffed, and two, the fact that Constance Hanabi basically mirrors Sunday Aggie. Like it's literally the same shit. The patch after Sunday came out, he got a DPS and the only one who has legit perfect synergy for him. And it's even more convincing when they both have the same elements because that's legit the entire purpose of Break. You want other characters with the same element on your team to eat through the toughness bar as easily as possible. So it's like too many things that are lining up that make it make like a lot of sense. Hanabi's going to be a DPS. Yeah, that's the most likely scenario. Either main DPS or like sub DPS. To be honest, they can go the Cassie route with Break. They really could. You can easily go the Cassie route with Break, which is like the entire team does damage. Because Break was kind of the mechanic that started this in the first place, right? Like even Ruan Mei doing a basic attack hits for like 80k. HMC doing a skill hits for like 150k, right? But yeah, she should be a DPS, not a support. It also doesn't really make sense because I don't think HSR has ever gone 3 patches in a row in its history only releasing supports. Like that's the other thing. Because Constance is support 3.8, Cyrene is support 3.7. If we only got supports again for 4.0, I don't know, man. That would be kind of weird. I mean, Wilson, Constance is kind of already basically confirmed to be break related by the leakers. It's legit already been confirmed that she's break related. There's literally zero reason to bring a break support if you aren't going to release any new break DPSs or characters. So, it's 100% going back to a break meta. Imagine pulling Hanabi over the shilling Yai will get. I mean, to be fair, I talked about this before. If they give Hanabi the same E1 treatment as Eggy, I'll be cool with it. Low key. Because, like, Eggy's E1 jump is still the biggest one in the entirety of the version. So it's like, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's better than having to pull, like, 3 premium supports on the Annie character to make up for it. Now, I'm still pulling Yai Sakura, don't get me wrong, but one of my accounts is pulling Hanabi. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't think they'd make something that broken. It probably wouldn't do that. I already talked about it before. My guess for what they do for Constance, since it's quite clear the next one to be replaced in the break team is Ruan Mei, since she's Nihility, right? She's not Harmony, so she can't really like give a direct buff really. Um she'll do something similar to Fugue, where like for example, Fugue is Exo toughness, and then the second toughness is way weaker. All you need to do for Constance to copy Ruan Mei is just instantly decrease the toughness of enemy bars by 50%. Instantly. So this is as strong, if not arguably stronger, because it scales the more max toughness that enemies get, right? So you're decreasing it. You're not decreasing the technical max, which allows break characters to still take advantage of the break toughness scaling formula, right? That is the most likely case scenario, in my opinion. What do you think, Elation? I don't know. That's what I said like 10 minutes ago. I legit just don't know. Elation is an enigma to me. It can legit be anything, which is like the issue. Like, if it were any other path, you would be able to get a good idea. But Elation is legit just shits and giggles. Like, you don't know what the fuck they'll tie to like the Elation path. Hell, considering what Elation represents, they literally could make it do anything. Like, it's so weird. I can't guess it. Strolling with the game, yeah. Like, Aha genuinely is just like so broken in lore because he just does whatever the fuck he wants so long as he finds it funny, which means Elation can literally be anything. That would be good with that new boss that has 480 toughness. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think that boss is actually pretty easy, to be honest. That 480 toughness boss, he sucks for zero cycling, but he's really good for like older teams and like just getting consistent clear. because I went to check a video to see like how much this guy like de-action advances himself when he gets broken. Bro, he goes all the way to the other cycle. Like he gets minus 170 AV if you break him, takes 50% more damage, automatically takes 10%. And you can eat through the toughness bar because if you kill his summons, it does a fuck ton of damage, right? So like high key, that boss is pretty easy to just breeze through. The hardest thing about that boss is that if you don't like break him quick enough, he'll target a character and I believe do a fixed 5k damage. This would be a problem if it weren't for the fact that Dan Heng is completely free and he's a direct counter to this boss. So all you have to do is slap Danny on the team and all issues are resolved. I still think it's scummy, by the way. I do still think it's scummy, but if you're actually playing the game in 3.6, it's going to be a complete non-issue. They gave out the solution. Well, the other thing is too, you break faster with Danny as well. Like alongside of the, target 5,000 damage thing. The reality is you could actually like use Avon. You can also use Avon, to be honest. Because basically the only requirement is to just use a shielding sustain. It's the only requirement. So if you have Avon, it accomplishes the exact same thing. He takes an extra 60 toughness damage if he hits a shield. Summons take damage, and you live because of Avon shield. And then it's GG's. Is there any fun to this game at all? Because talking about all this is kind of gloomy. What do you mean? What about it is gloomy? I think HSR is fun. Especially, like, HSR is probably the best game on the planet for anyone who plays casually. Like, fucking massive. And even then, for, like, the sweats, there's something for everyone. Like, the amount of min-maxing you can do in HSR, if you're just smart enough, you have the right relics and shit, like, it's really, really cool. Like, HSR is one of the few gacha games compared to like Genshin, Wuwa, and like other shit, where you just get massive benefits from continuing to farm for min-max pieces. Glazing HSR is crazy. I mean, this isn't anything like, I don't know, specific to HSR. Like, I say the same thing for Wuwa. If you're like a big open world guy, like I've said it before, most people I think are gonna prefer Wuwa over any other game. Because Wuwa is like fucking like really fun for that shit. Genshin, I'd say Genshin is probably the game most targeted towards just lore players. If you're someone who really cares about lore and story, but doesn't really care about endgame, then I'd recommend Genshin. Every single game has its strengths. For ZZZ, it's the art style and animation fluidity. Like when it comes to my channel, If you consider that talking about Gloomly for like HSR, like I legit treat every other game the same. In fact, I talk more shit about Genshin than any other game. But like I treat WoW the same as well. I talk about its HP inflation, its power creep, the fact that Prolova is about to become the strongest DPS in the entirety of the game. She's an absolute fucking monster and whimpering waste that no one else can compare to. I mean, I haven't made a video on it yet because I don't want people on my head about it. But you know what I'm saying? How do you make a team for E0 Archer without any other limited character? I believe it's Ting Yun and Hanya. Or is it Hanya plus RMC? It's one of those. You can use Ting Yun, Hanya, and RMC for Archer. It's gonna be a struggle, but I mean, pulling any character E0 with no limited teammates is gonna be a struggle. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Like I have to say, it isn't even just like an HSR specific thing. Casual players will complain about like their characters not performing anymore, and almost every time they just don't have max traces. Like I don't get it, man. Like you already have to do nothing in this game, right? Like you already have to do nothing. All you have to do is just log on, farm traces for like a few days, get them maxed, and you're done. And people still refuse to do that. They don't know how much of a difference it makes. This actually reminds me, I think like a year ago, when all the main gacha creators still like farmed HSR and Penacony, I remember there being like some zero cycle or like low cycle tourney that Pokey played with EO, and the reason they lost thousands of dollars was because EO refused to level up traces and the enemies lived by like single digits. So it took an extra cycle and it bricked the run. Ugh. EO play HSR? He used to, yeah. Well, I don't think he played it actively because once again, dude didn't have his traces leveled. But yeah, he was in like a tourney with like a bunch of big creators, which they do quite consistently for like money at times. They don't do it anymore though, because most of them just moved on. Out of all the like old big gacha creators for HSR, the only one that's like really still here is like Pokey, that like actively makes content on it. Box 2 as well. I mean, I saw something about Box 2 getting burnout or whatever. It wasn't that he was quitting, but just that he got burnout. He folded again? Oh. Yeah. I also have to say, you guys need to understand. Like, I just want to get this out of the way. Me playing 3 HSR accounts massively makes me biased towards being negative about HSR. I feel like a lot of people don't know this, but I fucking hate playing 3 accounts. Like, I am fucking hating it every single. I don't even do dailies anymore. I don't. I refuse to log in some days because it just feels like torture. So I actually hate HSR right now more than I hate like Lua and other games. It's not because of anything wrong with the game specifically. I'm just fucking burnt out of it from playing so many accounts. So I think what I'm gonna do is after I get Evernight for my Cassie comp, and however my polls go for Anox on my Anoxa account, one of those accounts is getting dumped. I'm just not gonna play on it anymore. This game is so much like more relaxing when you're only playing on one account. You did that to yourself? No, I don't disagree. I completely agree I did it to myself. But I just wanted to make that point because, to be honest, most of my content on HSR, despite what people want to like call me or whatever, it has been negative. Like, I really haven't been that positive about HSR in the slightest. Except for when it comes to fucking 3 free limited 5 stars. Like, if that's what it takes for me to praise this fucking game, like, it's cooked, bro. Everything else pisses me off. My standards for Wua praise are so much fucking lower. I promise you they are. They do one devs listened, I'm farming it. Betting on him abandoning the Cassiac? Depends. To be honest, I find Cassie very satisfying to play. And I feel like it only become more satisfying with March. So originally I thought that I'd guarantee drop the Cassiac, but like over time it's actually become my favorite to play on because it's the most satisfying. Like I have E2 Feign on and I have an E4 Anoxa with E1 Triby, but I do find Cassie to be the most satisfying to play. I think it's simply like the sheer amount of out of turn attacks you can get in Cassie teams is like just VFX slop. Like you just spam. And to be honest, I'm not complaining. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest, by the way. I low key might make a video on this. I really do think that the Hoyo devs kind of backed themselves into a corner by making Cassie work the way she works, right? Like, the fact that she can just get ult charge off of enemies attacking is like, brother. It's so broken. It's like my day is the balanced version, right? My day is the balanced version where he specifically needs to be attacked. But for Cassie, it's literally anyone on the team, and healing still contributes to her charge, also to teammates. Like, it's just such a broken mechanic, man. And the craziest part is, right? This scales with enemies doing more damage, right? This is the thing. Like the increased damage shit that they're making enemies do is just benefiting Cassie more and allowing her to get more attacks off. What cost is your high scene? On my Cassie account, she's only E0S0. My Cassie's E2S1, but like everyone else on that account is like E0S1 or like no Lycone. More commonly, no Lycone. Even the Sunday has no Lycone. If I don't drop the Cassie account, then the dream is obviously E1S1 Hyacine, E1 March, and probably E1 Cyrene. Because I'm still using Ruan May. Like, Ruan May is like kind of noticeably worse than Triby for Cassie. So it'd probably apply even more so for Cyrene. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, E2 Cassie's already like broken as shit. Like even with the current E00 Hyacine and E2 Cassie, I just get 1 cycles on auto. Like uh, I don't know. I feel like they might increase the HP inflation, but then again, this is E2. I don't think they'd balance it around E2, so maybe not. We'll see. Why would they rerun instead of Hyacine? So they can run a triple rerun banner on Syrenes. It's kind of how it goes. Cyrene, Cassie, and then Hyacine. And then second phase is probably going to have like My Day. S1 over E1 March for me because of DDD. Yeah, I could see that. Personally, for my Cassie account, it really doesn't matter because my second DPS is Phanon. Phanon can't take too great advantage of DDD. And then because I'm probably going to pull Cyrene, I can't even use Ruan May anymore. So there's no Harmony. So DDD doesn't really have any use on my Cassie account right now. Actually, maybe I do that with my Cassie account. You guys think when it comes to my Cassie account that I just like go vertical for all the Annie units? I could low key do that. Like that, make that what my Cassie account is targeted for. Ugh. The anniversary account? Yeah, exactly. And then my Phanon account could be dedicated towards pulling the second main push. Which, to be honest, I don't know who that's gonna be. I don't know who the second main push DPS of version 4 is gonna be. Three accounts doing 4 events each. Bro, oh my god. Oh my god. That fucking cooking event. Oh. I did it on 2 accounts, but I haven't done it on my Anoxa account yet. Man, like, it's such a burn. Ugh. I procrastinate every day, man. By the way, if you guys wonder why I've like never made videos complaining about like, events and shit in HSR and like the content, it is because of that. I don't want more events, man. For my personal agenda, it's just torture the more content that's added. Blade SP? Maybe. That would low-key be crazy to see. Blade SP actually being like a main push super meta DPS. I'm gonna be honest though. Okay, hot take real quick. Maybe the Annie characters aren't the best ones to pull in the game. I actually think the Fei Xiao type characters are probably the actual best. Like, now that I think about it, because if you look at Evernight, her 6 cost main DPS team versus Cassie's 8, like, they're both incredibly fucking close in like neutral 3 target scenarios from that one calc. So like, if March had access to a upgraded RMC, which cough cough siren, then March would probably overtake Cassie in main DPS, which means the leakers weren't lying. And then Fei Xiao is also probably like the strongest in version 2 for her respective field, so. Now, yes, you need to wait, what, like a year? You need to wait nearly a year and get near the end of the version to finally pull a character. But yeah, like just looking from a meta perspective, getting the last DPS of a version seems to be like the best thing you can do. High ceiling DPS? Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. High ceiling DPS. I mean, that's just not the case, Bruno. For one, there isn't a single buffer in the entirety of the game who only gives one buff. For two, she's already confirmed by the leakers to give a unique buff depending on the Chrysosayers on the team and the one she's targeting. And three, if she isn't much of an upgrade over RMC, why would anyone pull her? Like, you're treating her and her potential worse than the side character Tribby when she's legit the Elysia XP with a territory. Or, I guess territory is gone now or whatever. But you get what I mean. Like, she's the third and last main push character of the version. Also, you can't be, like, you need to understand, she literally needs to be an upgrade over Tribby. Otherwise, she has no best in slot teams. Like, maybe only March, but nobody's going to pull a support who's only best in slot for one character, right? So she's 100% just going to be an overall Tribby upgrade who's already busted. People will pull. No, they won't. No, they won't, bro. Like, they will pull, but they'll pull a lot fucking less. Like, what is the point of being a generalist support if you're only best in slot for one character? At that point, it would have been better if you're just niche. To a lot of people, that's how they see it. Because we're going to go into a break meta, you're probably not going to use Cyrene. We're going into an elation meta, you're probably not going to use Cyrene. Unless as an alternative. Like, people are going to pull a lot less on Cyrene if she's legit only best in slot for March. Because it's Elysia. We legit just had Phanon. And Phanon did less than Cassie. Like, being some high 3 character does give you more hype. But let's be honest. It just isn't going to mean shit. It's not going to make some astronomical difference. If you're ass, you're ass. Cassie had top-up refresh. Phanon legit had a specific light code event on his patch for free Archer light code, incentivizing people to spend 200 times or pull 200 times. They're pretty similar in how predatory they were with getting people to pull. Most people aren't FOMOing for a light cone, and most people aren't FOMOing for a top-up bonus that lasts an entire year versus a light cone bonus that's only for that specific patch. People are going to feel the FOMO more for that light cone bonus. I promise you. In fact, that is literally what happened. Look at how much more drama there was about the Archer light cone situation compared to just a top-up refresh on the Annie. Like, that shit caused way more FOMO. Cass was the Annie character? Yeah. And what about it? This is my point. I'm pretty sure Firefly also sold more than fucking Phanon. Like, it's not just, oh, Annie character. Oh, like, no. There are characters who are not from High 3 who have outsold the High 3 XP. Like, you need to understand this. And they are DPSs, so them being niche is understandable. A support being niche is an entirely different ballgame. Entirely different. Like, to act like it's not going to affect her sales if she isn't better than Tribby is delusional. It's affecting it significantly. It's one thing to just sell decently. It's another thing to fucking hit the top of the charts. Didn't say it was top of the charts. I legit said that she'd sell noticeably less, and you said no, because she's Alicia XP. I never said she would sell bad. I just said she'd sell a lot worse compared to what she could. Because Tribby, like, if you are worse than Tribby, a literal side character, right? And she's more general, despite you being called a so-called generalist, you having a special buff, you having this and that, you're somehow worse than Tribby, and only best in slot for March. She's not gonna sell well. She just isn't, or at least not sell anywhere near as well as she could. I would say if she was a DPS, it wouldn't matter, right? Like if Alicia XP, like Cyrene, was a DPS, it wouldn't matter how niche she is because people would just pull the supports. But people have a much different mindset. I've learned in like this HSR space. If a support doesn't have that much good of value, even if they really like them, they'll fucking skip. Like they really will. In fact, I'm actually curious how Ceredra sales will look at the end of this patch. I'm kind of curious to see that because I think Ceredra would be like a perfect benchmark to kind of get a feel for, people's distaste to niche characters. Wasn't Tribby the start of the flame chase? I mean, yes, but like she isn't a like Tribby isn't even fucking aware that she's in like these endless cycles until like near the end, which is my point. Like Cyrene has basically been the main character orchestrating everything, and then Phanon has been like the second main character who has been taking the blows to like reach the end and shit. Like those are basically the two MCs of Amphorius. What are you talking about? Why are we comparing Cyrene to a sustain on Cassie's team? Oh. Calling them side characters just feels off. I mean, at the end of the day, it's true. Like, I don't know. Like, sure, they play active roles, but active roles doesn't mean fucking legit main character. Like, at the point, is it a main character if there's fucking like 10 of them? I mean, not really. I'm gonna be honest. At that point, it's just like a main cast or whatever. And even then, it's like, I mean, we haven't exactly been catching up much lately. Actual main characters are characters like Firefly, Acheron. I guess you could throw in Sunday in there. Um, Himiko makes returns. Phanon. Um, I wouldn't even say Cassie is a main character. Probably gonna be Cyrene after this. And yeah, Herda probably actually. Yeah, probably Herda. Like those are characters that kind of play an active role that you're gonna continue seeing over time and shit. Like Tribby and all these other ones. Like we're probably not hearing from them literally ever again. Gonna be honest. Acheron didn't do that much in Pentacone. I mean, that's not the point. Like that's not what makes you a main character. Like we even recently got that trailer like showing that Acheron is still hunting Zephyro now. Like it just shows you how much importance she has. She gets her own segment in like a trailer based on future shit. So she also appeared at some point in like a flashback in Amphorius too. Like to be honest, the Acheron glaze in this game is fucking disgusting. Like she's 100% just getting an XP at some point. Or like yeah, SP, sorry, not XP, SP. Like she's probably getting another variant somewhere down the line in a few versions. Because they really don't like letting her go. A buff? I don't think a buff is enough to like justify the story relevance they're still giving her. And if they give like if they treat the buffs the same as Blade and Jing Liu, she's just gonna be back to square one within like half a year after the buffs. And then they're just never gonna buff her again. So it's like what's even the point? It takes like half a year to get buffs. Actually no longer. Because the next batch of buffs is probably like somewhere in early version 4. So more than half a month, or sorry, half a year to wait for buffs. And then by the time you get the buffs, you're just back where you were before. uh, Acheron SP? I mean, yeah. They do. It's no different to Blade SP. Like, Blade is supposed to get another variant of himself in Edostar. It's no different. Just like different forms, but entirely new character. I mean, they legit already did it with Dan Heng too. Dan Heng now has Gil and as well as this new like Permancer Terre thing. Sparkle, yeah, there's Sparkle as well. Um, they also did this in High 3, I heard. In High 3, there's like a bajillion variants of characters that they just constantly release over and over. I actually heard that they're bringing back Elysia in High 3, and that's apparently she wasn't even supposed to be back, so it's like kind of an asshole. So that shows how little Hoyo cares when it comes to like bringing back characters. No, but she's already an Emanator. I don't think being an emanator really stops you from like changing legit anything or like getting a new form. I don't think that really stops you. Because in the first place, this game kind of says fuck you to following in lore paths for quite a few of the characters. It's most prominent in Zhang Zhou Luofu. In Zhang Zhou Luofu, like it's actually crazy. Because I'm pretty sure they all follow the hunt or some shit. But like every single limited character follows something else. Except for Fei Xiao, yeah. What's the next character you'd most likely doom post and then immediately fold? It depends what you call folding. To be honest, a lot of people spam fold on my channel whenever I pull a character. However, the only real folds I've had, it has been Saridra, because I did say I wouldn't pull. Like, Saridra does count, but like it's so much less than people make it out to be. Because a lot of the time, I already plan to pull a character in the first place. I get them, and then people are like, "Oh my god, you folded again." uh, Augusta was nah. I actually wouldn't say Augusta is a fold. So I originally promised I'd go to the 50-50, see if I won or lost, and then from there I'd decide whether or not I want Augusta. So the only reason I pulled Augusta was because I lost my 50-50 to Verena. For those who don't know, Wuwa account, I did not use the selector on Verena, so I didn't have her. But Augusta is like incredibly free to play friendly if you have Verena and Mort. So I was like, yes! You know what I'm saying? Like, I basically just pulled her because she works amazingly still with a free to play team. I acted like it was a fold, but it really wasn't a fold. I already planned it. You know, I can guarantee you right now, and I'm not like joking or I'm not gonna like turn around or anything. You know, I'm being so serious. I have zero interest in. Like, it isn't even a Saridra or Augusta situation where I had like a lot of interest in the character but didn't want to pull because of meta. I don't have any interest in Yuno at all. Especially with characters like Galbrena, Qyuan, and Chisa, plus 3.x on the horizon. I really just don't care, man. uh, have you seen the Glob Yeah, I've seen Qyuan and Galbrena's animation leaks already. I like that Galbrena's animations and lost all interest. I mean, it is possible that because it's early beta, they end up, improving the animations. But I do have to say, I actually think everything about Galbrena is like good animations wise, except her lib. Like it's the only thing that's really underwhelming because it's legit just one cool pose and then a shot and then that's it. You just go straight back. And it's like, oh, right? And I have to say, Augusta is probably the most satisfying character to play in the game currently, animations wise, probably. Like, even more than Cart. Because of the slow down, the slashes, and like all that. So, it's for sure a bit underwhelming compared to Augusta. If I'm being honest, though, it does, like, make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. I have already noticed a bit of a pattern where it seems Kuro seems to favor every two patches. Like they release a character with like really crazy animations, right? Like 2.5 had Fro, which was cool, but it wasn't anything crazy. Zanny 2.3, it just wasn't anything that crazy, right? Even though it's cool. Um, 2.7 has Glorb and Q1, isn't that crazy? But then you like pay attention, it's like 2.4 Cart, 2.6 Augusta, 2.8 Chisa. And that's probably the next one to get favorable treatment from Kuro. So they'll probably just keep doing that. To be fair, it's a nuke ultimate. I mean, the thing is, it just isn't satisfying enough. Like, even if you make that argument, I think a lot of people prefer the way Jin Shi's nuke works than the way Galbrena's works. In all honesty, animations wise, at least. Cartwheel ult is also a nuke. Yeah, it's not really on the same level, but yeah. But yeah. Also, like, I really want to prioritize Chisa. I really do. So, even outside of skipping Yuno, I may just skip the entirety of 2.7. I've semi considered QU1. Not sure, depending on how his beta goes. But I really do need to prioritize Chisa because I really like her. I want to prioritize Lucy. Yeah, that's understandable. Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. I actually forgot about the Cyberpunk collab. It should be like mid version 3. Lucy and Rebecca. As long as she's just a Phoebe for Havoc and shouldn't be bad. Well, according to current leaks, Chisa isn't gonna be the same as the current negative status DPSs. So, like, instead of wanting a mono Havoc team, she actually wants the opposite. So, what leakers are saying is her best in slot team should be like Phoebe plus SK or Phoebe plus Jacona if you don't care about healing. And like she can convert other negative status into Havoc Bane and then just make it fucking do a lot of damage basically. So she's not gonna like want a mono Havoc team. She's gonna want Phoebe and Chakona apparently. That's the current beta speculation though. And it's not like uneducated speculation. It's from actual leakers. Like the actual leakers in the court and shit. First character with older characters as best in slot. Well, actually, this applied to Zanny, because I think Phoebe came out in like 2.1 or something, and then Zanny came out 2.3. Same happened to Prolova Canarella. Carlotta too, yeah. Now, there's a bigger issue at hand though, and it's like I'm usually against like mono havoc and like selling the supports and shit so closely, but Chisa is a bit of a special case because if she actually does have Phoebe as her best in slot, then anyone who owns Zanny, cough cough me, just gets completely fucked over, right? Like this is 100% a glaring issue. Zanny without Phoebe is fucking garbage. And then you need to subject your rover to always be Spectro, no matter what. Otherwise, your Zanny is fucking bricked. Like, that's a pretty big issue. Like, I'm all for, supports getting more alternative teams for sure. Fucking W. But if there's no alternative for the DPS, then it's kind of cooked. You know what I'm saying? Next TOA is punishing mono. No, it's not the next one. It's the it's either the 2.7 or the 2.8 TOA. That's the one that punishes mono element teams. So like Cart team, Mono Spectro Zanny team with Spectro Rover, Mono Fusion, Mono Havoc. That's what they're punishing. And the leakers believe it to be like that because Chisa doesn't want Mono Element, so it benefits her, makes her look better. I'm gonna be honest. I think Wu like spreadsheet calcs. I do still think they're a very good way to see the strength of characters, but Lua is currently in this like very weird place where TOA went from like the main end game mode, the most difficult one, the most challenging one, and it's not TOA anymore. It's now Whimpering Waste. So I actually think that it's more nuanced and Prolova is actually the strongest DPS in the game because she is leagues above any other team in Whimpering Waste and still performs incredibly well in TOA. And now she's getting another buff which is Q Yuan. Like Q Yuan, if I remember correctly, is like 10-15% better than Roshia in the Prolova team. It's not increased resistance. It's just that the enemies will straight up just take less damage. It's not really like a specific resistance thing. Or maybe I guess you could consider that resistance. I'm probably just taking it too literally. My bad. Ugh. I skipped Prolova because I don't like Canna. Yeah, I did the same thing. But like I really didn't expect her to be this fucking broken. The thing is, not only is she okay with QU1, right? Here's the gist of it, right? For 99% of the player base, Prolova will be the second strongest team in the game for TOA if current QU1 makes it to live, right? So, second strongest DPS team in the game for TOA, and then it's going to be leagues above any other team for Whimpering Waste, probably by like nearly 50%, right? And then she's also an amazing versatile sub DPS for multiple teams. Like currently one of Augusta's fastest runs in TOA is using Prolova as a sub DPS or like duo DPS. She is just so fucking good. Yeah, Maple, yeah. That's what was kind of getting me twisted. Like, res is usually something that scales differently, and sometimes you can bypass with, like, pen. But this is just a straight up debuff where you do 20% less damage no matter what. Nothing you can do about it. I have Prolova S3. You won. You won. She can work with Gian. I mean, yeah, she can, but it's like, no offense. Just throw in anyone else for Prolova and it'll probably perform better. Like, at this point, Gian is just way too dated, and there's multiple better support options for Fro. And in the first place, if you're a Gian main, it's not going to be that fun seeing him do less damage than Fro. It's basically wheelchair. I already talked about this, but at this point, Gian is so dated that all his best teams are just wheelchair, where the other two characters just do more damage combined. Gian is the blade of Wua. Uh, I mean, low key, I'd say Gian is like more similar to Jing Yuan because he just keeps getting indirectly buffed by newer supports, but that's not really a good thing because the newer supports are obviously meant for the newer DPSs, and it's like you're constantly pulling newer and newer supports over and over and over again for him to still be noticeably worse. This is kind of a problem I have where it's like in HSR, wheelchair isn't as bad, right? Because it's general sustained damage with general support that can work with almost anyone. So you get like really good value for pulling those two like sub supports. But in Wuwa, it's like, for example, Gion's best team, like highest DPS I think currently, is with Yuno and Chakona. Like they are nowhere near as bang for buck supports as like Tribby and Hyacine, right? That you're not putting them in most teams in the game. So it's more iffy pulling for like wheelchair supports for an older character in Wuwa. Yuno is the buff Gian needed. I mean, to be honest, Yuno isn't really much of a buff for Gian. Like, I'm pretty sure a 5 limited Gian team using SK plus Chakona and Gian is weaker than with Yuno, but the thing is SK is 5 limited while Yuno is 6. And unlike Augusta teams, Augusta's signature really matters in Gian teams because she's doing a very significant amount of damage. So if you compare 5 limited versus 5 limited, she actually isn't really an upgrade for Gian if you use Chakona already. I also think Chakona is more versatile than Yuno. Personally. Personally. But yeah. I mean in the Fractured Shores chord, everybody makes fun of Yuno for being ass, man. Like I thought they disagree with me because I made my own takes off my own opinions, and then when I went in the chord, like everybody flames Yuno daily because of how dog shit her pull value is. Can't be less dog shit than Roshia. I mean, Roshia's in like a different tier. But yeah, she's still really bad, man. The shield restriction is just like, oh my god. It's restrictive inside restrictive, man. You not only need a shield, you not only need a shielder on the team, you also need a shielder who stacks it 10 fucking times. And then you also need to stack it 10 times within like 5 seconds. Otherwise, it's fucking bricked and most of your attacks aren't fully buffed. Like, who the fuck else is getting released that does that? Bro, explain, man. Like, it's so niche. Is that bad? It's not that she's bad. It's just that pull value wise, she's bad. Like if you use her in the best in slot teams, like well, basically just Augusta and wheelchair on Gian, like you will get a noticeable performance increase and it's gonna feel nice. Her main DPS is also solid. However, it's when you talk about her actual support value for just generally for even heavy attackers who can't refresh shields, it's pretty bad. Like it's really really bad. Cuz the only thing she provides is a bit of sub DPS and 50% heavy amp. Mortefi already gives 38% heavy amp, but he provides an extra 30% attack, which makes up the difference. So they're pretty much the same in buffing, if not Mortefi slightly better. And then she does like 200k more damage than Mortefi, which carries her value. I just looked at the Fro calcs pulling the Samurai. Oh, did Chem update them? I remember he took them down for a bit because he didn't want people like spreading them all over. Because people instantly screenshot his calcs and then they put it on Reddit when he's still work in progressing. Let's see. Oh yeah, 1.87. Yeah, I do believe that's the that's the second highest behind Cartethia. Ugh. I want but I don't want to break myself long term. I mean, I don't think it's that serious in WoW, to be honest. Like, you'll be fine pulling a unoptimal like pull. Like, to be honest, you only need to so-called optimally pull probably a couple times in a version, if not only once, to actually be able to clear endgame content. Like, it isn't too difficult. Augusta good pull, long term bad value. Yeah, basically. And even then, it's like if you're an Augusta main, like I'd rather you get S2, right? Because S2 Augusta is a bigger increase with more Tefi than S0R1 Augusta with S0R1 Uno. So it's like you go Augusta sequences first. Actually, no, you go weapon first, then Augusta sequences, and then Uno is like the next best investment. See the tower buffs? Yeah, I saw the tower buffs. I did see them. I think they're just doing it because Chisa is just not going to be a mono element character. I don't know how Chisa is going to work, but it doesn't seem like she's going to be like the normal negative status ones we've had so far. So they're just nerfing the mono teams. T-buffing mono teams? Yeah, for sure. After fucking chilling them over and over and over again, and then just suddenly debuffing them. I mean, to be fair, if you have full premium mono teams, I doubt that debuff is gonna stop you from clearing. But it's just funny. It is just funny. By the way, those buffs are not for like the easy TOA floors, by the way, for anyone wondering. That like 20% debuff, or like, yeah, 20% debuff, that is for the newer, harder floors, which are 3 and 4 for Hazard. They're more difficult than the current TOA floors. Thanks, Odic. Oh yeah, that's gotta be feel fucking amazing. S6 Lotta. I think I will try to continue pulling as zeros, just so I don't regret not pulling a character here and there. Understandable 10 start. Say for a year I was gonna dump it on Yuno, but I don't like Augusta, so yeah, that's understandable. I also think like Carlotta is still probably the easiest DPS in the entirety of the game. Like she's the one where like even casual players can get close to her max potential in terms of damage output, which makes her just so much more friendly. Like when it comes to characters like Zanny, her floor is about Lotta level, if you consider that the average player's very bad skill. But then Zanny has like this insane fucking ceiling, but like nobody cares about that. At least except for speedrunners. So Lotta still has really good value. I mean, that's your own opinion, person. But the thing you need to understand is, even for casuals, they feel pressure to clear endgame content because there's legit nothing else to do in the gacha game once they finish story, which for most is like a few days. Anyone who plays any gacha, like semi seriously, instead of just throwing it to the sideways the second you finish content, they're gonna care about clearing endgame. That's why it's like such a popular niche of people talking about meta and shit. You can't just tell people, "Oh, stop caring." Just stop caring. Just have fun, bro. Just stop caring. I mean, in a way, a lot of people do have fun from playing optimally and shit like me. Not everybody's gonna be like you or think like you. As a free to play, I have fun playing meta. Yeah, like sometimes it's cool to like see what you can do, optimally invest, like get the best bang for your buck, learn how the game works, patterns, all that shit. I mean, I find it fun. It's kind of like the same thing. I don't know. Like I feel like casual people will just never understand it. Fully casual people. Because I've gotten the same thing like all my life when I took games more seriously and I was like good at them. And then I play with like casual friends and shit. They're like, bro, like, how is this fun, dude? Isn't this super sweaty? Aren't you like trying your ass off? And it's like, no. Like, this is more fun than playing the game casually to me. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. Person said he doesn't regret it and I don't. No, but it's like you always drop general statements almost every time this topic comes up in my streams, telling people to just not care about endgame and that it doesn't matter. You always drop like these types of general statements, which is my point. It's like a lot of people just think completely differently. It's like me making a video after someone replies with some like, oh, I prefer casual play more. It's like, bro, like how can you be so casual, so brain dead, right? Like, isn't it way more fun to actually learn the mechanics of the game? So you kind of need to understand both sides. I said don't regret it because it's a game. I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think most people are being dead serious when they say I regret something. Like, there are like different levels to regretting shit. Like, I regret E2ing my day, but I'm not really losing sleep over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of a passing statement. Uh, I'm just imagining someone pulling I'm imagining someone pulling Aggie and not investing into her, and then seeing the Cassie shilling and being like actually losing their mind over it. I don't think too many people are like that. People cried about the HP inflation and whimpering waste. It's bad for the non-show characters, but it made me have fun playing Wuwa again instead of just spamming good old 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, HP inflation is really just gonna be subjective, and you can really see this in just any type of game, right? Like, when it comes to the hardcore players that actually know what they're doing in HSR, they really like anomaly arbitration. Like, this is a really common take. A lot of them that aren't casual and like the ones that actually care about like end game and min maxing and shit, the anomaly arbitration, they say it's like their favorite end game. And it's like the same thing in Wua. It's like the sweats are like, yo, how the fuck are casuals struggling with this shit? You guys are brain dead babies with no hands. You have no clue what you're doing. And then the casuals are like kind of saying the opposite. It's like, oh, we don't want to treat this like a job, this and that, right? It's like really weird. At the end of the day, though, gachas are going to mainly cater towards casual audiences. So I'm still going to talk about HP inflation and shit. Because I know it affects casual players a lot. This has been my experience in WUA. The average skill level of a WUA player is just way lower than the average skill level of an HSR player. It's like way, way lower. Like, people will be like, "Oh, I quick swap this." They use quick swap like a buzzword, right? And then their quick swapping is just fucking spamming, like losing buffs, going from there to there. Like, it's bad, man. Uh, oh yeah, Chop Chop is a bitch. I'm not gonna lie, that's for sure a problem they need to fix. Is like the AI for some of the mobs, because Chop Chop, if you can't instantly nuke them, or if you don't know how to like group them really well, then they can just instantly spawn in, and then two Chop Chops stand still while one pushes you all the way to like the boundary of the map. If you can't like instantly kill it, which is really frustrating. It's like, bro, come on. Like, why can't you guys just like attack or something? Well, yeah, it's the same for me. It's like, I don't know. Like Wuwa, I'm for sure not as good as Wuwa anywhere near it as I am in HSR. But even in Wuwa, I can still clear decently easily. And then in HSR, I think I'm like completely jaded at this point from understanding casuals. Like at some point, I gotta admit, I'm just not casual anymore. Even if I treat the game casually in my head, right? Unfortunately, I've just been in HSR space too much to consider myself casual anymore. Like speed tuning, maxing traces, knowing how kits even semi work is already just way above casual level. So I can't relate. Struggling in HSR endgame is almost impossible for me. I need to like purposely brick myself and use the worst of the worst free to play teams. Ugh. I don't even know what's going on in ZZZ. I mean, I have a Mia Ball account, but I haven't even touched it in a few patches, man. It really is like, I don't know. It's difficult keeping up with so many gotchas while having IRL, while having other shit. And then it's like, I also need to learn how to play this shit, make content on it. And at some point, you just lose energy. It feels a lot healthier just sticking to one game. Then again, I play 3 gacha accounts, so like that's also greatly affecting my opinion on this. Nice, Dales. Can't remember the last time I struggled with an MOC and HSR. Yeah, low key, I gotta say, like, I have felt the much less percentage HP inflation that there has been in Amphorius compared to Penacony. Like, a lot. Because, like, all the characters on all my accounts have been clearing basically the exact same in damn near every MOC, with maybe at max a difference of, like, 1 cycle. I think the biggest drop off I had was when the HP buff went away in MOC for my E2 My Day. But even then, like, it's still just fine. It's still just fine. I swear Penacony power creep was so much worse. Like leagues above this shit. Once again, like Penacony power creep was like E0 Acheron, and then a few patches later, for the same performance level in endgame, you need like E2 Acheron plus Jiaoqiu. Like, the spike was fucking disgusting. You need to understand, like, in Amphorius terms, this is getting like Phanon E2 S1 and getting Ceridra, so he can perform the same as he did at E0 a few patches ago. That would be fucking disgusting. This batch of MOC and AS was cancer for me. Yeah, I will say I felt it a little more in Apocalyptic Shadow this time, but it's not specifically because of like HP inflation or anything. It's just the addition of the Fei Shao boss and how like distributed her toughness bar is. It's really annoying. And it's kind of hard to sustain through her. You think they did the inflation from 2.x on purpose or was it a mistake? No, I think it was on purpose. I think it was 100% on purpose. I think. I don't know. The thing is, Acheron was just too strong. Like, the same jump and power creep we see like a premium Cassie team have over like the second best team. Like Acheron was bigger creep over the second best team on release, but with no shilling in teammates, which was unheard of levels of power creep. So Acheron, I'm not gonna lie, she kind of needed to be dealt with. I don't know what they were thinking, right? Maybe they were smoking some fucking insane shit on the anniversary beta. And, back then, beta leaks weren't as popular. So maybe it makes a difference that now they can just see so many private server players find bugs for them and shit. But, yeah, Acheron is just the worst case of power creep we've ever had. So, like, here's the thing. Cassie, without her teammates, isn't even, like, the strongest, character in this version. She might not even be top 3, in fact. So it's like, yeah. Like, Phanon can work better with free-to-play supports. So can Anoxa. I'm pretty sure main DPS Evernight also performs better. Like, yeah. Cassie needed that teammate chilling. Oh, yeah. E2 Acheron, even on her own, is still really solid, for sure. I remember before I stopped playing on the account, I had an E2 Herda, E2 Acheron account. And when I finally pulled the E2 Acheron on rerun because she was E1 S1, instantly I cleared so much faster. It was like, I think a 1 or 2 cycle against Flame Reaver, if I remember correctly, with sustain, which is like really fucking good. Pre-Cypher, which massively buffed her. Cassie just there for global passive. I low-key find it hard to believe that people actually pulled Cassie just because of the passive. In my head, it's kind of insane to me. I don't know. Like, you're spending that many pulls for that passive? I mean, maybe, man. I can't judge other people's pulling. I can't. But it's hard for me to imagine it. Thoughts on new endgame mode? To be honest, I don't care about it. Like, okay, for my accounts that can, brute force it, it's cool because they do give you they give you self-modeling resin for every single thing that you beat, which is really nice because it just makes it easier to craft those annoying relics you have bad luck on. but they don't give any jades. So when it comes to like my accounts that I know I'm just not going to be able to clear it, I don't actually like feel sad about it. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I know people are going to complain about it, and to be honest, go ahead. I don't got anything against them. But personally, I just don't care about that new endgame, bro. If it doesn't affect the polls, hey, do your thing, man. You only need 1 star on Legacy for the dice too? Oh, really? Oh. Well, there you go. What do you think about currency wars? I don't even know like what that's supposed to be, to be honest. I'll wait and see. Apparently it is supposed to be a permanent endgame mode that resets. But I don't know if I'll even care about it, or like what's it going to be about. I did see a leak that apparently in that endgame mode, they'll have like specific ass buffs, such as if you use characters from Astral Express, they'll be like 2 times as strong or some shit. So it's kind of weird. I don't understand how it's gonna work. I pulled on Gion because I wanted to show anyone can catch up, and now I regret it in a way. Yep. I mean, yeah, man. It's just older character. I mean, to be fair, for being legit the first DPS in the game, he's not terrible by any means. He actually still holds up decently. But the recent HP inflation in Whimpering Waste just really hurt him. Like, it really fucking hurt him. Because that was like the main thing people were pitching. It's like, oh, Whimpering Waste is so easy. He has AoE. So his main selling point is Whimpering Waste and not TOA. And then just got fucking slammed with the HP inflation. And it's not that he can't clear, but it is a lot more difficult, especially for casuals. Gion should be added to standard. I mean, they did add a new account selector for like new players that allows them to get SK instantly, so that's probably what most people use it on. I don't think they'll add it to standard though. In the first place, I wouldn't even say Gion is like the weakest value V1 character. It's probably Yinlin. Gion sequences are S until S3. Gion sequences are old dog shit. I'm pretty sure he just gets an insane increase at S6. And before that, like, almost all the sequences are just kind of underwhelming. The strongest sequences in the game is like cart. Like cart vertical investment is like the most broken in the game currently. Yeah. V1 characters always have bad dupes. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's just V1 characters. Because, like, even Cammy has way fucking better sequences than Gion by like a fucking mile. But yeah, like the V1 characters are worse, but like it's still like, damn, man. Oh yeah, I don't like open world gotchas either. Yeah. Like open world is like you very quickly get tired of it. I like one-time open world games that are like cinematic and like story driven, like God of War and like other shit. But when it comes to gotchas, the open world just feels like tedious. It just gets in the way. Like here's actually I actually maybe I should make a video about this, but I almost always am able to very easily get near all the poles that are possible in an HSR patch, while in WUWA, I'll get burnt out so quick trying to force myself to like scour for chests and do this and that. Like half the exploration on WUWA that I have is less than 30%. Like I just can't, man. I really can't. It really is one of the big reasons why I'm such a big fan of HSR. It's just because I'm a lazy fuck, bro. I don't want to grind for my pulls. 100%ed the map for Yuno? Yeah, you're crazy. I couldn't even force myself to do that. Oh yeah, Wu was a lot better than it used to be for sure. They've improved a lot. I kind of hope DNA ends up being something similar, where like the game doesn't look too crazy on launch, but with the funding they get at the beginning, they just improve the game continuously. Should go to bed. I mean, I probably will go to bed. I always procrastinate a bit. Probably chill a bit in the Shores Discord, but I probably will get off now. How long am I streaming? Over 2 hours? Yeah, I yapped on too much. Appreciate you all stopping by. Sorry for the background noise, but there's always some dumbass out here. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Keep you guys updated on the leaks, and peace out.